Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next episode of Never Walk Alone. I'm your host, Kaelem, and please welcome our guest for today, former UCC biology and environmental systems teacher, coach of the varsity, and prior to that, JV soccer teams, one half of the Hammer Turner 1-2 punch combo, and the crayfish whisperer himself, Dr. Premak Hamr. How are you today, sir?
Hi everybody. I'm good. I'm good. I'm in the country. The sun's setting beautifully behind me. Actually, it's set, but I'm good.
Great, I'm glad to hear it. Thanks for coming to speak with us. We really do appreciate it. So, I'm going to jump right into it. Your
Okay.
love of crayfish is vast and well documented. Your posters still adorn the walls of the science office as well as the hallway bit on the third floor. In your 2019 T-Ball interview, they asked you for your favorite crayfish, and I'll take it a step further. If you could be a crayfish for a day, which species and why?
Um, I think I would still have to go with the giant crayfish in Tasmania
Okay.
because they're so awesome. They're enormous. They're like 10 pounds and they live in really interesting rivers in Tasmania. So I think I'd still have to go with that one.
All right, 2 points for the giant crayfish then.
Hmm.
So I know that COVID has, unfortunately impacted everybody's schedules, but I hope that you were able to do at least something fun and exciting over the summer.
Yeah, for sure. I actually started a field study here because I have a stream that's not too far away from my house. I live out in the country near Peterborough on 2 acres that are more than half forest. I don't have any water on my land because I'm up on top of a hill, so I have a beautiful view, but not any real water. I have a pond that I made that I have crayfish in, but. Uh, anyway, I go to this stream that's only 5 minutes away by car, and so I drive there, and I started a field study in May actually. So I've been sampling now for 6 months. I just finished. Because the water's high and cold now, so and the crayfish aren't moving, and I'm not moving very well in the water either when it's 9 degrees.
Well, that's great. Any groundbreaking discoveries?
Yeah, well, I got some good data. I was studying like the life history, so just the general biology of this invasive species that lives in the streams here in the Kawarthas. It's taken over all of the streams, and so it's kind of important to know its basic biology and how it grows, how fast it grows, and when it reproduces and stuff in different environments. So I studied it in a fairly small stream, and but because I was able to go out there every week, once a week, I have really good samples, that are successive for 6 months, right? So for 6 months, I sampled every week.
Here, nice. I also heard actually that you're still involved in UCC through the, correct me if I'm wrong, Norval News platform on UCC's YouTube.
Yeah, so what happened was when I was doing the study in the spring, still while I was still teaching actually at UCC before I retired, the Mr. LG had this program called the Norval News Network, I think, and so I got a guest spot on there because and to show them what I was doing, and so they had a couple of episodes. I would recommend the boys to have a look at it. It's pretty funny. Mr. LG's great. He's the anchor man.
Yeah, that's great. I'm glad to hear it. So, um, obviously, you're very recently retired, and I'm sure that the current situation we're in has impacted your plans for the future. But is there anything major that you got going on? Anything that you'd like to report back?
So I mean, I'm doing the study, and I had lots of plans. Before COVID hit, working with the Royal Ontario Museum. I have a study going on with them, but we're doing some genetics of crayfish, which is pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
So that's all on hold, but I'll be, during the winter, I have some work that I'm gonna be. I have lots of data I have to look at. I used to sample crayfish at Norval with the boys, right? with the young guys, and so we have almost 10 years worth of data that I have to wrap up the study and write it up, because a couple of the older guys did some data analysis on the stuff with me, and so we want to publish the paper. So a couple of the recent graduates are actually going to be on that paper with me. So
Oh, wow, that's
that's
great.
something else that I have to work on this winter.
Yeah.
And I do a bit of drawing, so I'm going to do that.
Oh, nice. That's great to hear. Clearly, you've remained busy, to keeping yourself occupied. So,
I'm
so
not bored.
yeah, sorry.
I said I'm not bored.
No, you're not bored. So I'm sorry to spring this on you, but I mean, I suppose my one of my penultimate questions would be if there was a message that, by the way, before this, I've asked this to every single person that we've had on the show. If there was a message that you could extend to today's UCC student, any big message, any big, wise words, what would that message be?
I think the most important thing is to do what you love, you know? And I've always loved doing research and being outside and teaching as well, right? I've always taught. I was teaching when I was at university. I was, even as a graduate student, I was teaching the undergraduates labs and stuff. So I always like teaching, but I love being outside, and I always crayfish were my big love, right? My first love, really, and. So I would say to the guys, really, try to do what you love. It's important, and it's not always easy to get there. And but if there's if there's a will, there's a way. And I've found a way of studying crayfish still, and I did it all through teaching at UCC, and I was very happy doing it. So
Yeah.
do what
Well,
you love.
I'm glad. I'm glad. And it's everyone's goal to have a career that they love, and I'm super glad that you were able to find that. So, Dr. Hammer, my final question for you is, you're on record as saying during your T-Baw interview in 2019 that on the day that you would retire, you'll go to the pool and jump in. So, has that happened yet? And if not, how can I convince you to do it?
It hasn't happened because I'm not in town, right? I'm not at UCC. But when I do come back, and when things are safe again, then I will do it. I forgot I said that. The pool is still the only place at UCC that I haven't visited.
Hmm.
I I said that I have smelt it, but I've never seen it. So it's actually the only place on campus that I've never visited. I've been up the tower, and I think I've been everywhere else, even at the prep, but I've never been in the pool. So I will do it.
All right. Well, you know what? Our viewers at home, you heard it here. Dr. Hammer is committed to bringing his swimming trunks the next time he's coming down to UCC. Uh, so, Dr. Hammer, that's our interview, and that's all the time we have. Thanks for coming by to speak to us. We really do appreciate it once again. I mean, your words and also are really quite inspiring, and also the fact that it's very interesting and it's very fun to hear how you're keeping yourself busy after post UCC, your post UCC life. So, thanks to our audience as well for joining us here today. If there are any other UCC teachers, UCC students, or UCC people in general that you would like to see interviewed in one of these Never Walk Alone sessions, please reach out to me at kaelem.moniz@ucc.on.ca. That's kaelem.moniz@ucc.on.ca, and we'll see what we can do. Thanks, Dr. Hammer, and enjoy your retirement.
Thank you, and I send my best to everybody. Everybody stay safe, and I'm looking forward to the day when I could come and visit and watch some soccer and jump in the pool.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Hammer. Thanks, everybody.